Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel! Today, we're diving into something that I think we can all relate to, something that touches our lives every single day. We're going to unpack some profound wisdom from Matthew chapter 7, specifically the part that starts with, "Do not judge." It's such a simple phrase, right? 4 little words. But the weight they carry is immense. Jesus says, "Do not judge, or you too will be judged. For in the same way you judge others, you will be judged, and with the measure you use, it will be measured to you." Let's pause and really think about that. The standard we use for other people is the exact same standard that gets applied back to us. It's like a spiritual boomerang. If we're constantly pointing out faults, being harsh, and looking at others with a critical eye, we're essentially setting that same bar for ourselves. It's a powerful call for humility and empathy. It's not saying we can't discern right from wrong, but it's a warning against setting ourselves up as the ultimate judge of someone else's heart or motives. Think about it in our daily lives. How often do we scroll through social media and make a snap judgment about someone's life based on a single photo? Or hear a piece of gossip and immediately form a negative opinion? It's so easy to do. We see a tiny fraction of someone's story and we feel like we have the whole picture. But we don't! We never do. This leads directly into the next, very famous, and almost comical illustration that Jesus uses. He asks, "Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye?" Imagine this scene for a moment. You walk up to a friend and say, "Hold on! You've got a tiny speck of dust in your eye. Let me help you with that." But as you're saying this, you have a giant 2x4 wooden plank sticking out of your own eye. It's absurd, right? You'd be bumping into walls, you couldn't see straight, and yet your entire focus is on the tiny imperfection in someone else. This imagery is so brilliant because it highlights the sheer blindness of our own self-righteousness. The plank in our eye represents our own faults, our own shortcomings, our own biases. These are often things we are completely oblivious to, or that we choose to ignore. It is so much easier to focus on the speck in someone else's eye because it distracts us from dealing with our own much larger issues. We all have planks. No one is exempt. Maybe your plank is pride. Maybe it's envy or impatience or a habit of speaking unkindly. And when we carry that plank around, it completely distorts our vision. We can't see others clearly, and more importantly, we can't see ourselves clearly. Then Jesus drives the point home. How can you say to your brother, "Let me take the speck out of your eye," when all the time there is a plank in your own eye? He calls this out as hypocrisy. And it is. We can't genuinely help someone with their issue if we haven't first dealt with our own. The solution isn't to just ignore everyone's specks and planks. The next verse, which we'll touch on, talks about first taking the plank out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye. This isn't a call to inaction. It's a call to proper order. The journey starts with self-reflection. It starts with us looking in the mirror and asking, "What's my plank?" It requires honesty, courage, and a whole lot of grace for ourselves. Before we rush to correct or criticize someone else, we need to do the hard work of introspection. Am I judging this person out of genuine concern, or am I doing it to make myself feel superior? Am I projecting my own insecurities onto them? When we start by addressing our own issues, a few amazing things happen. First, we become much more humble. Wrestling with your own plank has a way of reminding you that you're not perfect. Second, we become far more compassionate. Once you realize how hard it is to deal with your own flaws, you develop a much greater sense of empathy for others who are struggling with theirs. So, the next time you feel the urge to judge, to point out that speck in someone's eye, I encourage you to take a moment, pause, turn that lens inward and ask, "Okay, what's the plank I need to deal with first?" When we approach others with a heart that is self-aware and humble, we can build connections based on grace and understanding, not judgment and criticism. That's a world I think we'd all love to live in. Thank you so much for joining me for this discussion today. If this resonated with you, please hit that like button and consider subscribing for more content like this. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care!